Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry I didn't get to see you yesterday. And I'm sorry if you tuned in yesterday around this time when I normally do these little videos. But I was off giving a free make and take demonstration with some lovely ladies up at Bonnells Bay. So I spent a morning with them. So it was very nice catching up with all of those ladies. Thank heavens we're out of lockdown. It's great to be able to catch up with people in person, but I'll continue doing these little fortnightly demonstrations if you continue to enjoy them. So please let me know what you think about them and if there's anything in particular you'd like me to demonstrate. So today I'm just going to demonstrate a very, very simple but quite effective little Christmas card that I thought you might be interested in. And it's one of those ones that you can kind of mass produce quite easily, but it looks more than just a simple card. So on this one I've used the die, and I can't remember what it's called. It's actually now been retired by Kazaz, but I've still got one in stock. So if anybody would like this die, it's called an edgeable die, and I think it was amethyst. It's amethyst or ruby. But it's $17.95 if you would like one. This one here, and probably in hindsight, I was playing around with it this morning so I could show you that there's different edgeable dies that you could use. I would probably cut this card down to kind of that size so there wasn't so much of a gap here, but I think it still looks pretty. Now this die is the die that comes with the Gemini Junior, so just so that you're aware of that. And then this die here on the blue card is from the big Gemini, so the electric Gemini. So again, it's very pretty. It's a very pretty die. So they're still available. I think the Gemini is out of stock at the moment, but the Gemini Junior is still in stock. So they're the dies that come with the machines. So what I was going to do is do this card here and show you how this die works. Okay, so I'm going to make a purple version again. And you can also see I've used cream card on one of the cards and I've used white on the other. Also, I've put icicles on, which when I was using this, I wanted to use the oxide inks. But you can see here, when you put icicles over oxide inks, it actually, because the oxide is a water-based ink, it actually bleeds out the colour. So you lose the imprint of the decoration, and it's such a lovely decoration. Talking about stamps and decorations, at the moment all Kazaz stamps are half price, so just being aware of that. That's the 50% off Black Friday sale, so that will last, I think, until Friday morning. So just being aware of that if you're wanting some Kazaz stamps, this is the time to get them, lovely people. Also, the papers and cardstock is half price as well. So all our scrapbooking papers, all our cardstock is half price at the moment too. So now's the time to get your hands on some half priced stuff. So if I can help you with that, please feel free to let me know. Okay. So yeah, so you can use the white. You can use the cream. I think as it's kind of a little bit vintage looking, I think the cream looks nicer. But again, I've done a few different colours just to show you, that you can use up your scraps, and it's a great way of using up your scrap bits of card and being able to customise your card. So thinking about the colour that a particular person would like for their Christmas card, and also what you feel is nice as well. Okay, so yeah, so I've used the Blueprint Sketch ink on that too, and you can see that the ink in the decoration has run. So yeah, it's not just quite as nice, crisp an effect as you get when you use the archival ink. So the archival ink is a permanent ink, so you still get that lovely definition of the decoration when you put the icicles over the top. So what we're going to do here, so I'm using the plum cardstock here. Now I'm going to have the texture on the outside, but sometimes when you cut it in the wrong way. So I always fold texture to texture first, just lining it up. Fold it texture to texture, give it a good burnish with the bone scorer, and then fold it smooth to smooth so that the texture's on the outside, because you want to have that lovely pattern on the outside. Now, the cream card that I've used is also textured. Now, because I'm going to be doing a fair bit of stamping on this, I'm going to stamp it on the smooth side. So you've got the smooth side and you've got the textured side. Also, I've noticed I've got a black mark, a blue mark here. So I'm going to do all the stamping on the textured side. What I'm going to show you though is what it looks like on the textured side, because again it does look a little bit distressed, so you might like that look. So we're just inking up the decorations, and I'm just going to stamp them just slightly off the page so that it looks like the decorations are hanging from the top of the card. And then just a nice firm press down. So you've got the decorations there. Now I've rolled it a little bit on the side there, but I'm going to put the vintage holly leaves over the top and hopefully cover that a little bit. Okay, so then on this little piece, we're also going to stamp it on the back. Now what I might do is stamp it on the back of this piece here so you can actually see the comparison. And I don't know if in the camera you'll actually be able to see the comparison. Oh yeah, you should be able to. So you can see here with this one, you get a much crisper. Here you can see it's a little bit more distressed. But again, depends what you like the look of. Okay, so then we're going to put the little sentiment. Now I'm doing the sentiment with black just so it stands out, because we want our little Christmas messages to stand out. Now with sentiments, I always line them up, make sure they're lined up on the block, because when you turn them over, sometimes it doesn't, like if you look at the stamp, it looks like it's aligned, but it's not. So this way I tend to look at the block. So if the block is equidistant from the edge of the card, then I know that that sentiment is going to be straight. So just stamping that at the bottom. And then we're going to put some vintage holly around the place. So with this, so I've stamped this with the archival, but I want this to be the vintage holly leaves to be a bit more subtle. So this is, I'm doing them with the distressed, the oxide ink. Now, if we wanted this to be lighter, we could stamp it off first and then add it. So you'd get an even lighter image so that the decorations would stand out and then the holly leaves would fade into the background. So we're just going to do the same on here. So I'm just going to pop them in the diagonal corners. And we can stamp one off and make it a little bit lighter if you like. So just having that variant sometimes looks nice. And then we'll put the main message on the inside. So all these stamps I'm using at the moment are all half price. Well, actually all Kazaz stamps are half price at the moment. And that's a lovely one. So may the magic of Christmas still fill your home with love and joy. So I think they're quite lovely sentiments. So just cover those up so I don't put anything on anything. And then we're just going to edge around with the oxide ink. So this is the lovely Wilted Violet, and then the archival ink I've used is the Majestic Violet. So just going to edge. I've just re-inked the oxide ink, so it's a little bit heavy. Okay, just put that away. And then we'll get our card ready to die cut. The icicles away. So we're just going to put that onto the card there. Just leaving it a little bit away from the tip of the card there. And making sure that it's kind of even on both ends. The space is even on both ends. And then just a little bit of washi tape. So a great way to use up your old washi tape, because I think all of us went and bought washi tape galore because we loved the patterns, and then probably realised we couldn't do as much with it as we thought we could, but it's a great way of sticking our dies down. Now, if you've used up your supply of washi tape, please let me know, because I've got a ton of it here, if anybody would like some. So just putting it through the Gemini. Don't know if you can actually see that there. No, you probably couldn't have seen that, but you can hear it. So I've just popped it through our little Gemini Junior. And then we just peel the washi tape off. And then we just lift the die out. And then all we need to do here is just snip this little bit here and turn it around, and then just snip that little bit there. And we just give that a little score down, a little burnish again, so that it's sitting nice and flat. And then we can just put, well, first of all, we need to put the ribbon around here. So because I wasn't quite sure which colour was going to suit this best. I'm thinking the white, it doesn't, for me, doesn't quite do it. The pale purple is the wrong purple. And then I've got some darker purple here, which I think might be the one. This is retired stock, but for me, I think that's going to be the best match. So again, this is a great way of using up your old ribbon supplies. So just tying a little knot in that. You can just put a bit of tape on the back there to hold it in place, but I'm not going to worry about it because I just wanted to be able to move it so I can line up the knot so the pieces of ribbon aren't going over the top of my message. And then I'm just going to cut them, oh sorry, I just knocked you all, in a little diagonal so the ribbon doesn't fray. So I've got that all lined up there. Then it's just 4 pieces of tape on the back of each piece. Now, just being careful with your oxide too, because when you stamp it off, it actually stays wet for a while. So when you turn your pieces over to put your tape on, sometimes you can get a smudge on that piece. So just being aware of not putting your cardstock face down where you've been stamping on your scrap paper. So then that just goes, that piece just goes on the inside. Just lining it up. So the purple piece was just your normal A5 cardstock. So your 21 by 14.8. And your little cream pieces, this piece is 14.3 by 10 centimetres, and this little piece is 14.3, but it basically depends on how much is left here. So what I did, so that's 5 centimetres for this die, but what I do is just measure it across. So you can see here, this is 5.5 centimetres across. So it'll depend on the die that you're using. So if you're using a thinner die, you'll need to have a slightly wider measurement across here. So this one is 5.5, so I've done this 5 centimetres. Okay, so just decreasing it by 5 centimetres. And then a little bit of tape at the top just to hold it in place. So I always put tape on all 4 sides. If I'm really wanting a super duper hold, because I might be stacking a lot of embellishments on the top of this piece, then I might put a diagonal piece or a piece down the middle as well. But usually the 4 pieces is well and truly enough. But if you were doing a special project that you were wanting to be able to keep for a long time, then the extra pieces is a good idea. So that's the little card all made up, and now all we need to do is just drizzle on some of the icicles. So what I've been doing is just colouring the whole thing. So just shaking the icicles down, getting a little flow going, and then spreading it with the nozzle until the whole decoration is coloured in. That kind of takes probably half an hour to an hour to dry, depending on what the weather is like. If it's quite humid, which it is here today, you're then going to need, it's going to need a bit of longer drying time. So that's why I always leave the icicles or anything wet until the very end. So I'm quite liking that. Yeah, with the cream card, if you compare it with the white, I'm thinking I like the cream better than the white. And see, you can definitely see the difference between using the archival on the decorations and the oxide. I mean, if you like the fact that the icicles is now coloured with the oxide ink, then that might be an effect that you like. So again, it's all about experimenting and see what works, what you like, you know. It's all about playing around. So I'll say goodbye. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and please, if I can help you in any way at all, please feel free to contact me. If you've got any suggestions, if you've got any products you'd like me to demonstrate, please let me know. Next fortnight, I think I'll do another little, see if I can do another little voucher card for you, because it's always good to have those around. So have a wonderful week and a great weekend, and I'll catch you in a fortnight. Okay, bye.